Okay people, so we're going to be coding some new keys into the Golf. So what you'll need is obviously your cable. I'm using the official Hex plus CAN Rostec interface here, your laptop, obviously your car. First things first, definitely open your windows so that you don't fry in this heat that's going on right now in Sydney. And just to show you what I'm doing here, you can see that's the original key. VW logo is all worn out and everything. When I go to turn the car on, everything acts as normal. Pay attention to that immobilizer car with the key icon over there. So that's the original key. Gonna get my newly cut key here, and when that turns on, you can see the immobilizer light flashes telling you that that's not going to work and you're not going to be able to start your car. So how do we fix this? Alright, so first things first, I'm just going to keep the car running here so that shit doesn't go funky on me. So what we're going to do first is get to your VCDS, get to your laptop, and obviously plug this cable in to the OD port under there. Oop. Don't know why the aircon's turned on. Okay, so first things first, we need to get that SKC. Now, your VCDS program won't do this for you. So how do you get the SKC? We're going to need to open up VAG EEPROM Programmer, which works very well with the Rostec cable. So you would have seen this video in another one of my extended videos showing you how to read your SKC and get the EEPROM data, but here I'll just go through it real quick on the Mk4 Golf. So you just go to dash and you read that instrument cluster as you saw there. Just let it read. On the Mk4, I don't know why, but it tends to read a little bit slower and sometimes it fails. If it does fail, then just go in there again and try reading it again. So you can see there's a checksum error and that's not correct. So I'm just going to go to dash again, read EEPROM, don't save the changes, and I'm just going to keep trying until I get a good read. So you can see all the data down here is kind of junk. The numbers don't make sense and there's all these really funky values going on. So what I essentially want is the value here under login, and that's going to be my SKC. So we'll just wait for that to happen. Okay, awesome. So that's red, and you can see down the very bottom here that login, that SKC is 3380 for my car. So I'll take that value now and I'll be able to use that in VCDS. So let's flick over to VCDS with that number in mind, so 3380. Now when you get into using VCDS, you have to add a 0 onto the beginning of that number, so it's going to be 03380. And where we go in VCDS is select control module, 17 instruments, wait for that to connect. Then we go into login here, and this is where you enter in your SKC. So in my case, 03380, and you press do it. And now if you don't have the SKC, it'll come up with an error, but you can see that nothing's happened, which means I was successful in logging in. The next step now is to go to adaptation, and you can click down into the menu here where you can see this immobilizer key adaptation option. So we click that, and that's channel 21. And you can see here that the stored value is 2, which means there are 2 keys technically stored. So I don't know where that second key is. Someone's got it, it's floating around somewhere. But what we're going to do is erase that old 2 keys and start again with the current 2 keys. So one being the old one and the second one being the new one. So the new value, say for example you had 4 keys that you wanted to get cut. You have 2 original to you and then you wanted to add 2 more. This is where you'd add 4 in the new value section. But what I'm going to do here is just leave it at 2, press test and save. So are you sure? Yes. And then on the screen, this part always confuses me. I think this is where I need to remove the original key from the cluster, from the car, and then go in and get the new one. So you can see that's the new one. And get this one, just turn it to ignition, and you can see that light is flashing real quick. Whoops, I think I waited too long. Now it's gone a little bit funny. So with that light flashing quickly, it means it's in the middle of like an adaptation and the adaptation is not complete. All right, so I'm gonna have to start the process again, take that old key out. Now I've got the new one in here. So 03380, do it. Adaptation. Immobiliser key adaptation. Put 2 keys there. Test. Alright. So it says now new key count is 2. Now I save that. Yes. Okay, so that's the new key coded in. Swap keys for the original one. That one flashes a couple times and then turns off. Alright. Now in VCDS, done, go back and see if there's any fault codes. Nope, all good. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so there's our 2 keys here. Have a look at that. Immobiliser light should turn off, and that's with that original key. Change keys for the new one. Paying attention to the immobiliser light again. And we're all good. So let's double check that this starts the car. Perfection. And that's the new one. New key. This is the original one. Same thing. Double check. We're all good. And oops, jumped out. Login 0. Okay, adaptation. Oh, this is like super slow in here for some reason. Why is it saying login lost due to drop session? That's really weird. Let's do unlock horn. Stored value. I want to turn that on. Yeah, see, that lets me test. Save is the usual procedure. And then lock horn. Let's turn that on. Yep. Save. Yep. Done. Go back. Let's just see if they've stuck Unlock horn is 1. Good. Lock horn is also 1. Unlock blink, we know that those are on, which is fine. Country setting. UK, really? What are the values here? Should be rest of world, but we'll just leave that anyway. Don't go back. Okay, so what does this unlock and lock horn sound like exactly? Ooh, what's that nice little beep that you get? Cool, keeping that. So now that those two keys have been coded in for starting the engine, now I've got to code it into the central locking. So you can hear, well actually look, I'll show you this. You can see when I press the original one, it's all good. Locks and unlocks as it should, yeah? This is the new one. Nothing's happening. All right, so how do we fix that? Let's unlock the car. I really like that little beep sound, it's cool. Put it on. Let's log in first and do our SKC just in case. You can see I've got the new key here. Go to adaptation. Oops, adaptation. And then everything needs to be reset by reading channel 00, and that resets everything. Now we go into remote control adaptation, and you can see the stored value is just 1, so 1 remote control works, which is a bit weird because there was 2 keys coded for the immobiliser, but now we can click up for 2. We test it, and that should save, but it doesn't want to, which is really annoying. Okay, let's go back into 00 and read. So, stored value nothing, save, yes, done, go back. We'll do adaptation again, go to remote control, go up here for 2, okay, and when you hover here it says now, after you press save, because we've entered the number of keys that should be adapted, press save. Now press button 1 or 2 on every remote that should be adapted for at least 1 second. Alright, so I'll press save now. Yes, save it. Here, I'll press that, and there was a little blip from the car if you heard it. And then on the old one, I'll also press a button, and again there was a blip. So, done, go back, and now we should have 2 keys that work with essential locking. So let's do the first key here. Lovely. Lock. Good. New key. And we're all up and running. So there you go. That's how you do your key immobiliser, as well as adapting a new key to work with your central locking. Once again, this is Ian at Fizz Cluster Care, and see you next time.